3, 2, 1.
Wait, is Max loose?
Actually, both of them. Hey, I got both seagulls completely loose.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, April 30th, 2018. Are your seatbelts on? What did you think about my editing skills on those handlebars, on that slingshot? You get the point. You get the drift. I did my best. I threw it together real quick. So we're going to jump into the charts. We're going to look at Litecoin. There's a lot of things going on right now. A lot of the market has been moving. Everybody knows that. And in terms of Litecoin, a lot of people are extremely expectant and extremely bullish right now. And that's cool. And I'm going to actually go over that scenario and my perspective on that. But before we do, just to underline this entire video, we have the weekly open and I have these two green lines, one going up and one going down, because we're kind of at a tipping point where it's going to go probably one way or another. I can't see us trading sideways for that much longer, but we have. And we talked about this last week or so about trading kind of sideways into May 1st, trying to stay above the 150, and we kind of have. So let's jump in. There's the weekly. I want to go to the daily, and let's start the video with talking about just a couple things, which are some of our favorite indicators. We've got the stock RSI, and this one thing I just want to point out right now. You can see we've come down. Through this consolidation that we've seen, we've come down, we've settled down. We're not in the overbought area up here anymore. Number one, good sign, in my opinion. If you're out there and you're waiting or looking for Litecoin to move, that's a good sign. Another good sign, MACD. I know there's some people out there that don't like this. We obviously had this crossover, the bullish crossover, not too long ago. One thing that I see on the MACD, momentum-wise, is you can really see the consolidation slowed us down. We're just above zero on the histogram, and there's just been a ton of consolidation in terms of Litecoin lately, and I like that. That's a number two good sign. So those are a couple of those things I wanted to look at in terms of like the oscillators and indicators. But really, let's get into what we've really been looking at, which is the actual continuation pattern that we've been in. And I'm going to zoom in right now. I guess we can just go to the 4 hour, and you can see it. There it is. This 150 line right there, going right into 80% of the apex right here, as well as the top of the triangle continuation pattern right here. And we talked about this area right here. And we've had a ton of consolidation, and I don't think it's going to go much longer. Obviously, that's my opinion. But now zooming out a little bit, I want to talk about the bullish scenario right now, real quick. And let's talk about it. In a bullish scenario, I like to revisit. Let's revisit like a year ago, exactly almost, right to the end of April. So right here. And you can see when Litecoin began breaking out, you can see this last push down, and then we had a crazy breakout, consolidation, and then another crazy breakout. Now, one thing I want to point out, the reason I'm going back here is especially this consolidation that you see here in Litecoin. It's something you see very often. And in this long-term uptrend that we've been in, it happens a lot. These small little continuation phases and then a breakout, right? Breakout after these consolidation phases. So if we're going to continue this long-term uptrend, we've been consolidating right around 150 for like the last week or so, or however long it's been. And if you're going to look for a continued uptrend, a continued bull market, then obviously we would just be living in another consolidation phase before a breakout. So, and it's very possible. This is a similar pattern, and it's a similar move that Litecoin and other cryptocurrencies take. They consolidate for a while, and then they break out. That's just kind of what happens. And it's really partly what forms, if we can go to, I mean, we can just go to a daily and zoom out. But that process of consolidation truly is what forms these triangles. It's these lower lows, these higher highs, and just consolidating, squeezing, breakout. Squeezing, breakout. And that's kind of the market that we've been in. So if with this consolidation that we've had right here, paired with these lower highs and these higher lows in this consolidation, we squeezed so much that if the trend continues, we're going to break out. So what can that look like? This is completely my perspective. I'm sure other people have their thoughts on this, but other similar breakouts out of these patterns, we've seen some crazy nice gains. So if we're going to continue this bull market, if we're going to continue this momentum up, then something that I would personally look for, something that I might anticipate, is this previous high is something I'm going to start watching a lot if we break up. This previous high of around 250. Now, I want to say that if we break up, I don't know if it's, you know, soon, or maybe we go down a little bit and then finally break out. But if we do, I'm going to look for this 250. If when we break up, we have some momentum that takes us up to 250, and if we break 250 pretty aggressively, that's when I would say, this is not a prediction, I'm just giving you my scenario. If we break up and we see some nice gains with Litecoin, and we break 250 in that process, not see resistance. If we see resistance, which it's a different story, but if we break 250 and then maybe see some support or something, I would look for new highs in the next, 30 to 45 days. That's completely my opinion. Now, if we break up, which we might, and we might create a new channel below 250, which is completely fine, and it's bullish. But I just wanted to give you that outlook on the 250 area, because it's a very key area in my opinion. Looking at the past in these continuation patterns, you can see when Litecoin breaks out, when it breaks those previous high, these lower highs in these triangles, it kind of has a habit of just really breaking up into really new highs. So, and you can see that time and time again. I'm not going to take the time to go over that, but that's kind of what I'm looking at for Litecoin on the upside. And I wanted to paint that scenario because I know a lot of you are like, all right, don't just tell me it can go up or down. Like, what might that look like? So I wanted to give you a sense of what my mind thinks that might look like. So now, do I think that will happen? I think we're going to break up. I don't think we're going to break down. I could be wrong. So I do want to talk about breaking down real quick. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. But now that we're on the daily, if this 150 support does not hold, like I said, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, I don't know, that 120 to 125 area down here is kind of a very important support for us because it's also right around the bottom of the triangle. The only bearish scenario that I could see is breaking that 110 and creating a new low. That's what I don't want to see. I don't think we're going to see it. And if we do see 120, if we revisit support at the bottom of the triangle or test these areas, that's also not a horrible sign. I just want to throw that out there. However, as things are kind of getting crazy right now, I mean, you can even go to the LTC BTC pair, and Litecoin, even in that pair, is just looking very nice in terms of possible breakouts. It's just a very similar pattern we have going on. It has these falling wedges. We have these lower highs, these lower lows, and then Litecoin kind of makes a move. So even in terms of the pair LTC, BTC, we also might see a bullish indicator. So those are kind of my thoughts right now. That's what I'm looking at. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into where my thought process is in terms of a breakout. So yeah, that's probably kind of bullish sounding, talking about the 250 area. But I mean, we're going into May. We've had insane consolidation. If we're going to break up, if Litecoin, Bitcoin, they're going to make a move, I could see some momentum happening, and I could think it can happen quick. And I just, be prepared for something like that, but also be prepared for a possible breakdown. And here are our support levels that we really want to keep an eye on. So I hope it's cool that I kind of threw out some numbers instead of just saying, what to look for in terms of resistance. But yeah, I'm more bullish definitely on Litecoin, and especially beings, as always, we can go to the daily and we can kind of do one of my favorite things to do, which is to simply zoom out, and we are just right in the middle of that little story. And in the long term, I'm talking years, Litecoin is an awesome long-term hold. And those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate you watching. I know it's a little bit longer of a video, but if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Would love to have you as part of the channel. I do appreciate all your comments, your likes. I love interacting with all of you. So thank you for coming by. As always, I'll see you in the next video, and God bless.